guys, today I'm going to walk you through how to make some ginger chews or your own homemade ginger candies, which are really good for digestion. They kind of freshen your breath after a meal, and they're not going to have any sugar or really anything nasty in them. They're going to be really healthy and tasty and yummy. So I'm excited about our endeavor, and this will actually take a couple days, and I'll walk you through all the steps. Alright, so we're making ginger candies, and this is what you're going to need. Start out with a whole bunch of ginger, about a pound, and we're going to peel it. And next you'll need about a quart of water and a big pot with a lid to do our cooking. Then you need about 12 ounces of honey, and very important, a whole vanilla bean. It's going to add a really nice flavor to your candies. And then finally some fine ground, like macaroon ground coconut, just unsweetened shredded coconut. You could, if you want, just get raw flaked coconut and then run it through your blender to make it really fine. But this, you can see, it's just like snow. It's very fine, and then you won't have to do that step. But we don't need those for a couple days because, like I said, this process takes a couple days to make these candies, and so you can look around and find your macaroon coconut for when we're done. So we're going to get started with peeling our ginger and cutting those peeled ginger pieces into about 1-inch chunks. So we'll do that next. Okay, so our ginger is almost all the way peeled. We've broken the branches off, and then just carefully try to peel as little of the inside of the root as possible. Okay, almost there. Then I'm going to take next my quart of water, and we're going to get it boiling. Okay, so in our 5-quart saucepan we have our quart of water and our about a pound of peeled and uniformly cubed ginger. So we're going to get that boiling, and we want it to boil to, we can get it up to a boil and then turn it down to simmer. We want it to boil or simmer for about 45 minutes to start with. And so that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so in our ginger candies we're going to add 1 vanilla bean. We aren't going to cut this whole thing up. We're going to take it and slice it lengthwise with a sharp little knife. Just start at the top and just draw a line, slicing right down the middle. So I'll just take a spoon, scrape out the vanilla. So we're going to take the beans away from the pod, and then you're going to get this just really nice, like I said, kind of pasty, the vanilla beans. Just dump it in, and then it will be ready when we're ready to add that next. Okay, our ginger has been simmering for about 40 to 45 minutes, and now we're going to add in the vanilla bean and the 12 ounces of honey that we already have prepared. Okay, so the honey is all added and vanilla bean is added. So we're going to turn up the heat a little bit to get this back to rolling boil, and then we'll turn it back down to a simmer and allow it to simmer for about another 45 minutes. Okay, so after our ginger, honey, vanilla bean, and water have simmered, uncovered or partially uncovered on low for 45 minutes, we'll set that aside, turn off the heat, and we've let it sit. We'll let it sit for 6 hours or more. And now after our 6 hours, we'll come back to it, return it to the heat, return it to a boil, and then we'll turn it down to a simmer, and once again simmer it on low for 45 minutes. And so then we'll do the same thing after that 45 minutes. We'll set it off the burner and allow it to sit for another 6 hours, and then repeat that one more time. So you've repeated that process 3 times. All right, how is your candy making going? So your ginger, you should have cooked 3 different times for 45 minutes, simmering either on low or enough so that there's actually bubbling going on. So maybe a little higher than low, depending on your stove top. We're going to do that one more time on the last day. So actually it's 4 times. And so we've cooked it, we're going to cook it again for that 45 minutes. And your honey and water, that water should be starting to evaporate. So your honey is going to start to look a little more like honey again. And after that last, we're going to let it rest for, soak up for 6 hours. And so probably in the evening, after you've done that in the morning, we're going to cook it one more time on, I'm going to bring it up to a simmer. So get it hot, reduce it to a simmer, and allow it to cook to reduce that liquid even more. So you really want that consistency to be very, very sticky, a lot like honey. And so we're going to cook that for about 15 to 20 minutes. But you need to just be sure that since it's starting to get really thick, you need to be sure that it doesn't stick or burn. And so just be watching it and be stirring, and if you need to, or just keep an eye on it so that it doesn't burn. Okay, so being sure that the liquid hasn't stuck at all, we're going to take our pieces out and lay them on either just a drying rack like a cookie rack, or parchment, or both. And I'm going to let them cool a little bit. Great, and once your pieces are cool enough to handle, to touch, we're going to just roll them in our macaroon coconut, so really finely ground, either macaroon coconut or take some coconut, flaked coconut, and just run it through your blender. And then we'll return it to our cooling rack, and we're going to let it dry. They're going to dry out and become really nice and soft. Let it dry at least overnight. And that's it. So, hope you had fun making your candies and enjoy them.